I want to talk to you today about ABC, See, Hear, Do. This is what I used to teach one of my children the letter sounds, and we absolutely loved it. So I'm going to share a little bit about it with you. Hi, I'm Jamie, and this is Simply Learning Together, where I like to share all kinds of things about our homeschool, whether that's the curriculum we're using or maybe the activities that we are doing. Today we're going to talk about this ABC, See, Hear, Do. I saw somebody on Instagram use this, and I ordered it because I was going to be teaching my second daughter the letter sounds. It was shipped to us, and I pulled it out, and I was so excited. We opened it up, and my 4-year-old literally read her first word. I've never taught her to blend letters together or anything, but we went through the first couple of pages. She read her first word. Not only that, but my 2-year-old was copying us on the sounds. So let me tell you about how this works, and you can start it as young as you want. It is so cute, so amazing, so helpful. I will use this with each and every one of my kids. Now, when you get the book, it does explain to you how to use it right here in the description. When you open up to the first page, each page has a letter, a picture, and then it has emotion. So for example, the first letter is C, and there's a cat, and the motion is curl your hands like claws and scratch. So when you would open up to this picture and you would practice your sound, you would say k. And then the next letter is A, and the motion is throw your hands in the air like you're scared. And so this is one of our favorites. We say, ah! So that's how it works. You've got the letter, a picture, and a motion. And so we would just go through and practice the first, like maybe 4 letters at a time. And then once you practice a few letters at a time, it pulls out some words using those letters that you know. And the pictures are actually underneath the letter. So it's easy for them to recognize. And so what we would do is, like I said, practice the few letters. And then we would get to these lists, and the lists get longer. And we would try to read these words. Now, this was so great. Every time we got to this list, my daughter would get so excited. She would feel very confident looking at the pictures that were there and knowing what the sounds are. The pictures were so helpful. Now, my 2-year-old would sit and do this book with us. She would just copy the motions. And so I'd sit there and show them, and we'd all do it, and my 2-year-old would be right there with us, you know, making these motions and sounds, so she can still recognize some of these pictures that we've practiced together. It didn't take us very long to get through the whole book, and what's even better is we can refer back to it. So sometimes if we saw a letter and she couldn't remember the sound, I could maybe do the motion and she would understand it. So like that was the motion for U. You like open an umbrella, and so we'd see a U and she wouldn't remember the sound, and I could just go, and then she would remember it. So it's just super helpful to be able to use our eyes to see the picture, our mouths to make the sound, and then also our hands. That motion really was helpful. I also, when we did this book, I incorporated their writing practice at the same time. So that way it matched up with the letters. So you can see the letters match, the pictures match the letter in the book. Now, we did work our way through this book, and it was great that the picture matched. However, I do have some complaints about it. Basically, it's kind of a picky complaint. The letters don't quite touch the lines. I don't know if you can see that. And so it just doesn't quite match very many handwriting books. So trying to teach her the proper letter formation on these lines was kind of odd. I eventually just kind of let it go a little bit and didn't worry so much about the lines. But there was one in particular, like a T. This is what the lowercase t looks like. Now, I will say this is what a T looks like in a lot of books that you read. But when we're learning our letters, this isn't really what I was teaching her how to write a T. So we changed it, as you can see. But there are a couple letters in here that come up like that. So you have to decide if that's something you want to just kind of look over, or does that make you kind of want to skip it all around. And I think there might have been one or two other letters that bugged me like that. But you can see none of them touch the top line. I don't understand that. But it was helpful to have them matched up. Now, if you go to their website, they have tons of resources. I think eventually you can go and do the next book, which is like blends. And then you can also do sight words, and they have coloring pages, and they have little board books for your babies. They even have early readers now, and in their readers, they actually have the pictures underneath each letter. So just a great way to introduce reading in a gentle and fun way. It was extremely helpful for us and really helped the sounds stick. And like I said, my 2-year-old was even loving this, so I think that you can use it at a very young age just to kind of get started and have fun learning letters and their sounds.